Hey, this is Seneca Hester. I'm one of the executive directors on the team. And at this point, you should have already been scheduled for a game plan meeting. And my job right now is just to prepare you for that meeting by providing you with the information about what you'll be doing as a recruiter. So I'm going to go over exactly how you'll be paid, the goal you're going to start with, and the strategy you'll use to reach the goals. And if you don't feel like the strategy I explain is something you can accomplish, by all means, just let us know. But if you've made it this far, we definitely feel it's something you can do. So if you feel the same way, you'll be provided with the step-by-step instructions to schedule the phone interviews so we can start building your team, creating the passive income for you, and so forth. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by making sure you understand the three ways we're paid as recruiters before I go ahead and explain the goal and the strategy. Okay, so one of the ways we're paid is the residuals, and that's the money you'll earn every time a client renews their membership, and anyone is eligible to receive residuals for as long as they're vested, even if they're no longer working with us. And in order to be vested, they would just need to purchase at least a Legal Shield membership. And as long as they own that membership, they'll receive the residual income. Okay. Another way we're paid is the commissions. And as a recruiter, the majority of your commissions will be earned when some of the people you recruit end up purchasing memberships. And most recruits will purchase memberships just so they can be vested and receive the residual income. And since they'll be on your team, for whatever reason they decide to purchase a membership, when they do, you'll get credit for the sale as well as the commission. And the way you calculate the commission is pretty simple. So for instance, when you start this campaign, you'll start here at this first level as an associate. So to calculate your commission for a family combo, you would scroll down the family combo column to the associate commission level, and what would your commission be there? Okay, if you said $60, that's correct. And then you would use that same formula to calculate the commission for any membership at any commission level. So if you were a senior associate and someone purchased a Legal Shield membership, you would scroll down this Legal Shield membership column to the senior associate commission level, and your commission would be $60. Let's say you were a manager and someone purchased an individual combo. You would scroll down this column to the manager commission level, and your commission would be $104.91. Okay, and the commissions are good because it'll be your immediate income. But as you begin building your team and your team grows from the interviews you schedule, the overrides will become the bulk of your income because that's the money you earn whenever any of your recruits sell memberships. And you calculate the overrides by subtracting your recruit's commission from your commission level. So I'm just going to give you a quick example. So let's say you're an executive director at this $280 commission level, and you have a recruit who's a senior manager at the $160 commission level. Okay, so when that senior manager sells a family combo, they'd get $160 in commission, and you would earn an override, and you'd calculate that override by subtracting the senior manager's commission of $160 from your commission level of $280. And what would your override be in that scenario? If you said $120, you're right again. And that's basically the $280 minus the $160 for $120. Okay? And then there's one other way the overrides work. And this is actually the main reason this recruiting position can grow into a six-figure position. So let's say your senior manager starts recruiting people below them. Okay, and we can even say the people below your senior manager, these people here, start recruiting people below them, and so on. It doesn't matter how many times that happens. Whenever anyone anywhere below your senior manager makes a family combo sale, you would also receive an override of $120 for each of those cells as well. Okay, and just to kind of give you an example of how that would look, let's say your senior manager has a senior associate on their team. Okay, so when that senior associate sells a family combo, they would receive a commission of $120. Your senior manager would receive an override of $40, which is basically the $160 where your senior manager is minus the $120 where your senior associate is. So that's basically going to be $40. All right. And then you, as the executive director, would receive an override of $120. And it's basically, again, just subtracting the $160 where your senior manager is from the $280 where you are, which is going to be $120. Okay. So you would receive a $120 override for someone you've probably never even met, because the senior manager you recruited this person you've never met. And it works the same way regardless of where you are on the chart, where the recruit is below you, or the membership being sold. So for instance, if you were a director, okay, let's say you were a director, and you have, let's just say, a manager. Okay, so you're a director and you have a manager on your team, and that manager sells a Legal Shield plan. So the Legal Shield column to the manager level, that manager would receive a commission of $70 for selling a Legal Shield plan. And you, as a director, would receive a commission of an override of $25. And the way you calculate that override is subtracting the $70 where your manager is from the $95 where you are, and that $95 minus $70 is going to equal $25 in overrides for yourself. Okay, so basically, any sale made within your entire organization creates overrides for you, even if you didn't directly recruit the person making the sale. Okay, and hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, so those are the three ways we're paid: the residuals, the commissions, and the overrides. Just to kind of sum it all up, the residuals are earned if you're vested, which means if you have a Legal Shield membership. The commissions are mainly earned when recruits purchase memberships. And I say mainly just because some recruiters also choose to sell memberships, which would also produce a commission. And with that being said, I want to reiterate the fact that no recruiter is required to sell memberships at any time. Okay, so no recruiter is required to actively sell memberships, even though some recruiters will sell memberships if they like. And then lastly, we're paid overrides when our recruits sell memberships, or even when our recruits sell memberships, and so on. Plus, there's bonuses received for your production and your team's production as well, in addition to the residuals, the commissions, and the overrides you earn. Okay, and if you have any questions regarding how we're paid, don't hesitate to rewind this section back and go over it again. And you can also write your questions down so that you can ask them in your game plan meeting. Okay, so let's go on to what the first goal is going to be. And when we get started, that first goal is just going to be to get you Fast Start qualified so that you get the $180 bonus and you're promoted to senior associate, which is when you become eligible to start receiving the overrides, and your commissions are going to double from 60 to 120 on that chart. So basically, when you Fast Start qualify, you'll go from this commission to this commission immediately. All right, so you'll go from 60 to 120, and then to Fast Start qualify, you're going to either need to create 3 memberships and 1 associate, or 6 memberships within the first 3 weeks of you becoming an associate. And then on the next goal will always be the next level. And every time you move up the chart, you can see here, you're going to be paid more. So the position is just going to become a little more fun. And in order to get you Fast Start qualified, all you're going to do is schedule the interviews. And then we're going to do the rest for you. And this way, you don't have to try to learn everything, and we can just focus on getting you paid and promoted. Then, when we get you Fast Start qualified, we're going to continue teaching you the rest of the recruiting system. So if scheduling interviews and letting us focus on getting you Fast Start qualified is something you can agree with, then this is the way it's going to work. When you schedule the interviews, we're going to interview the prospects and get them started as agents on your team. And from there, it's just a numbers game. And the way the numbers work is you'll need to schedule about 2 interviews for us to create 1 agent for your team. Then about 3 out of 10 agents will end up purchasing memberships, and about 1 out of 10 will become an associate. So basically, for every 10 agents created, we should be able to produce 3 memberships and 1 associate, which is one of the ways you could fast start qualify. But what we'd like for you to do is to schedule about 40 interviews so we can create 20 agents for your team, which should produce 6 memberships and 2 associates, and that would put you in position to fast start qualify both ways. So it wouldn't matter if you reach the 6 memberships or the 3 memberships and 1 associate. Whichever one happens first would activate fast start qualification for you. Okay, and we want to do this quickly because we're also going to be helping your recruits fast start qualify as they join the team. And for every one of your recruits that fast start qualifies, you're going to receive a bonus of $360 for each of them, in addition to the overrides and commissions you earn. But if any of them move up to senior associate or fast start qualify before you do, you wouldn't receive the bonuses or the overrides for their production because you wouldn't be over them on the chart, so there wouldn't be anything to subtract and create the overrides with. And just so you can see how that looks. So basically, the way we've been calculating the overrides is we subtract where our recruits are from where we are. But if you're an associate and you recruit someone and you guys are both at the associate level, if they move up to senior associate before you do, there isn't anything to subtract and create the overrides with. Okay, so we want to put you in position to receive all the bonuses and overrides on all of your recruits as quickly as possible. And that's really the main reason for the strategy we're starting with. So you still need the step-by-step instructions to know exactly how to start scheduling the interviews. But with the information I gave you, you're definitely ready for your game plan meeting, which is where you'll receive the step-by-step instructions so that you can get started. Plus, you'll be able to ask any questions you may have in that game plan meeting as well. And with that being said, we want you to be super successful on this team. So don't hesitate to ask any questions anytime you need help with anything. Okay, we're looking forward to helping you grow a huge team. All right, so that's it. You have a great one. Wish you the best in your game plan meeting. Take care.